Before we start, hit that like button, not for the algorithm, but because of it. Every click breaks a link in the chain of historical silence. Welcome to Baldy's Thoughts, where we don't chase myths, we exhume truth. Today we're going back, not to Kemet, not even to Nubia, but to a time when the Sahara bloomed, and black minds mapped the stars long before history dared to remember their names. Before Egypt, before the Nile, there was Nabta Playa long before the pyramids, before Nama wore the crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, before even the Nile became the heart of African power. There was a place called Nabta Playa, hidden in the southern reaches of modern Egypt, near the Sudanese border. This site isn't just ancient. It's pre-ancient, dating back to 7500 BCE. Back then, the Sahara wasn't sand. It was green, dotted with lakes, grasslands and rain. Elephants wandered, crops grew, and above it all, humans watched the sky with meaning. Here, black African communities built the world's oldest known astronomical observatory, a stone calendar aligned with the summer solstice and the rising of Orion's belt. Flat stones placed in concentric circles, upright slabs that marked the seasons, a sacred geometry not etched in books, but in time itself. Nabta Playa predates Stonehenge by over 2,000 years, and it's more accurate. The Green Sahara. When Africa was Eden between 10,000 and 3,500 BCE, the Sahara was not a wasteland. It was a land of lakes and rivers, cattle herders and astronomers. This wasn't just survival, it was ritual life. Evidence from Nabta Playa shows ceremonial burials of cattle, stone circles with cosmic alignment, social organization and spiritual hierarchy. Early observations of star cycles, especially Orion and Sirius, these weren't just farmers, they were philosopher priests. And when the rain stopped and the desert returned, they didn't vanish. They migrated from Nabta Playa to Nubia to Kemet. As the Sahara dried, its people moved east, carrying their cosmology with them. They settled along the Nile, giving rise to Ta-Seti, the oldest known kingdom in Africa, predating dynastic Egypt by hundreds of years. Ta-Seti would evolve into Nubia, and Nubia would seed Kemet. The spiritual blueprints of Kemet can be found at Nabta Playa. The alignment with Orion's belt, later reflected in the pyramids at Giza, the cattle cults, foreshadowing the worship of Hathor. The concept of cosmic balance, later codified in the Kemetic principle of Ma'at. This isn't influence, it's direct inheritance. The Nile wasn't the beginning. It was the continuation of a spiritual legacy already centuries old. Sumer didn't come first. Let's be clear. Sumer, the so-called cradle of civilization, rose around 2900 BCE. By that time, black Africans had already built megalithic calendars, developed agriculture and animal husbandry, practiced ritualized religion, and constructed the early framework of what would become pharaonic rule. While Sumer recorded myths in clay, Africans were already recording the cosmos in stone. Why this matters now? History is not just a list of dates, it's a map of power. And if you remove Nabta Playa from that map, if you erase the Green Sahara, you erase the foundation of African genius. You rob black children of the truth, that their ancestors weren't waiting for aliens or white saviors. They were measuring stars, building calendars, and writing in geometry before Europe ever picked up a chisel. Every lie told about Africa is a theft, and every recovered truth is reparations. Don't just believe me, read the stones. This isn't speculation. It's backed by scholarship. Dr. Fred Wendorf, Southern Methodist University. Excavated Nabta Playa, Dr. Anthony Aveni, described Nabta Playa as the world's first astronomical observatory. Cheikh Anta Diop and Dr. Theophile Obenga proved that ancient Egypt was culturally and linguistically tied to Inner Africa, not the Middle East. Graham Hancock called Nabta Playa one of the most important lost civilizations on Earth. If this site had been found in Europe, it would be a global pilgrimage. But because it's African, they leave it buried, not us. If this changed how you see the past, then let it change how you walk into the future. Because it's not about Egypt or astronomy or timelines. It's about what we've been told we're not, when we already were. Our origin story doesn't start with slavery or colonization. It starts with skywatchers, earthbinders, and soul scientists, people who lived in rhythm with the stars and shaped the blueprint of civilization. This is Baldy's Thoughts, because what was buried in sand still speaks from stone.